Hey YouTubers, Rival X Factor, and look around. We are on a beautiful aircraft character. That means it's time for serious business. And that business today is keybinds, an updated keybind of what I use in Battlefield 3 and why. So here is the reason why and what I subscribe to. Some of your most important keys are your movement keys. And the thought process here is if you have to take a finger off a movement key to do something, that's not beneficial to you. So what I tried to do is get as many of the most commonly used keybinds off of weird spots so it does not interrupt my movements. All right, and what are some of those? Toggle primary and secondary. That's a big one. Use grenade. That's another big one. Your gadgets. All right, so again, this is all optional. You do not have to do this, but I promise you, once you get antiquated to this, it will be highly beneficial to you. All right. Another thing of note is I have a two thumb button razor death adder, which in the game it doesn't exactly allow you to bind things directly to it. So you have to use the software Razor Synapse 2.0 to make a one key bind, a single key macro to that in the software. Every mouse company has this type of software. So if you're having a hard time sticking things to your mouse, you got to go in the software, pick some weird key on your keyboard. I use things like O, P, period, and then bind them in-game off of the mouse. So let's take a look here, and let's talk about what I do specifically. Movement keys are stock. My thumb button up is toggle primary, toggle secondary. And I don't think I had to explain how helpful that is. Grenade, thumb button down. All right. Again, I'm not limiting my movement while throwing these. All right, or doing something important. Crouch and prone are not really messed with, but some other things I messed with. Gadget. One of the gadgets is thumb button or thumb mouse wheel up or mouse wheel up, and the other gadget is mouse wheel down. And then one of the important ones, if you like a map awareness on a larger scale, and this is one of my tips to anybody out there, especially if you're into grasping the flow of the map, is toggle your map zoom level. I'll make this bigger. I just hit M key. That's not bound very easily. But this one is. Mouse button middle down, or mouse thumb wheel down. All right, just a down press. So what happens is, let's say somebody's not 3D spotted, and I'm in a tank facing this way, and if they're spotted, I'm going to see them on the mini-map over my shoulder, basically. I cannot tell you how handy that comes, because people spot in this game. Does everybody spot? No. 50% of the people spot, maybe a little bit more, and that's enough to give you some educated information on where you need to go or where you need to avoid based on what you've got going on. So let's take a look at some of these key bindings. I don't mess with the movement keys. This stuff doesn't really help me. And here's where it starts to get a little wacky. Deploy bipod, G. It can be out of the way because if you're deploying a bipod, chances are you aren't moving. So I can take my finger off a right strafe key. Reload, R. No better place to really put that. All right. And here's where the gadgets are. That's mouse wheel up, mouse wheel down. All right, you don't have to do anything fancy for that. You could take it off of here if you want, but I still have these stock keybinds there. Select melee attack, F. Again, if you're going to knife somebody, you're probably already in position. And then here's where they get weird. Throw grenade, O. Cycle fire mode. This is a comma. The reason why I did that is I needed to get it far away from my basic keys, because the worst thing that can happen is you hit that bad boy by accident because you went to hit push to talk or something for your mumble or VoIP, and now you're shooting 800 rounds a minute gun at 2 rounds a minute. You're probably dead. And then here's another one. Toggle primary is P. So what did I do for this O and this P? These are two of the macros, the single key macros I set up in Razor Synapse 2.0. And again, every mouse company has this software for the most part. Go in there, read up on how to do yours. And then I didn't mess with any of this stuff. No need to. So again, this is a philosophy you don't have to subscribe to. This is personal opinion. This is personal choice. But I promise you, if you toggle at least this primary, secondary, all right, some of your gadgets and grenade, you will not die as frequently, or you won't die with your feet stuck in concrete. Hopefully you guys found this helpful and educational. If you did, don't forget to give me the old thumbs up. And if you have any questions or comments, don't forget to leave them below. We will see you soon, YouTube. And as always, thanks for supporting me.